Hey everyone, welcome back to the year walk. This is going to be episode number 3. It may be the final one. From the pacing of the last two and what we've got left, I think this might wrap it up. And let's jump back in. I wanted to actually read because we haven't gone through the year walk. Arskang? Arskang? I don't know what this circle over the A actually represents. But let's see what our encyclopedia says. Year walking was at its core a vision quest with the purpose being to foresee the future. There were very rigid rules concerning the year walk, and not adhering to them could prove very dangerous, even fatal. How the practice of year walking came to be is shrouded in mystery, but it seems to have been a widespread practice in Sweden until the beginning of the 19th century, and in some rural areas as late as the beginning of the 20th century. The practice was likely over 1,000 years old, and most certainly pagan. Year walking varied greatly regionally, and even locally. There might have been differences between one village and the next. All the variations had a couple of elements in common, though. A year walk could not be done on any common day. There were certain days a year when the gate was open, generally in liaison with important festival days such as May Day, Midsummer's Eve, or Christmas Eve, and most commonly New Year's Eve. A year walker could not partake in any of the food or drinks that were served on these days, a sacrifice of no little significance since these feasts were some of the rare occasions when food would be plentiful and varied. A year walker had to avoid other people, so they commonly locked themselves in dark rooms and were not allowed to see a fire for an entire day. Perhaps not a vast sacrifice on Midsummer's Eve, but on cold winter days it would be uncomfortable at least, if not hazardous. If the year walker followed these steps, he would leave his dark room at the stroke of midnight. This would be his last chance to cancel the year walk. Once he ventured out, there was no turning back. The church was the final destination for a year walker. On his way, he would typically encounter a number of supernatural creatures, which would pose a threat physically, mentally, and spiritually. If a year walker made it to the cemetery, he would walk around the church in an intricate pattern. This would open the year walker's eyes to the future, but it would also lure out the Chruch Grim. After having completed the year walk, the walker would see visions that would manifest themselves in different manners. When the year walker left the cemetery, he might, for instance, see a somber procession of dancers dressed in their finest church clothes. These would be the people that would die the following year. A recurring theme is, of course, the year walker who meets his own ghost on the road. Another story tells of how the walker would see newly dug graves. Love played a great part too, so a walker would typically meet a wedding procession or even attend weddings yet to come. One testimony from the late 19th century tells of a mental patient named Martin Nilsson, who described his visions as otherworldly experiences. Before I saw what happened next year, I lived among the stars. I lived there for many lifetimes, it seemed. What do I care for next year? Time has already ended. Today the practice seems to be almost entirely forgotten. So that is the lore and myth around what my unnamed character is doing. And it seems to be of love, and if maybe the marriage will go through, or if there's anything he can do to get his lady love to stay with him instead of marrying mystery guy. I don't know. But before we move on, there's one last entry to read, and that is the Chruch Grim, who I feel like we're about to meet very shortly. Chruch Grim, the Chruch Grim. Of all the creatures in Swedish folklore, the Chruch Grim was doubtlessly the most complex and certainly the most feared. Little is known of it, since it was considered bad luck to even speak about it. The Chruch Grim's appearance varied, which could possibly be attributed to the nature of the Chruch Grim's origin. When a church was built on medieval times, an animal was sometimes buried alive under the floors, most commonly goats, since these were comparatively cheap. There have also been stories of criminals being buried alive as punishment. In other versions, the criminal's heart was cut. Whoa, dark. In other versions, the criminal's heart was cut out and placed inside an animal carcass that was sacrificed. The heart was central in many myths surrounding the Grim. Stories from the south of Sweden told that if you touched the Chruch Grim's heart, you could stare into the eyes of creation. The Chruch Grim guarded the church. The Chruch Grim guarded the church against thieves and grave robbers, but because of it, even honest folks avoid the church at night. Some stories say that if you're unlucky enough to be the last one to die during the year, you would search the Chruch Grim for the following year. There are other stories that suggest the Chruch Grim was not a guardian at all, but rather a sort of parasite that was drawn to the energy of the church. While there, it fed on people's hopes, dreams, and fears. A recent controversial theory suggests that the Chruch Grim was closely related to a nameless Bronze Age deity. Interesting. Alright, so let's meet this Grim. I'm sure he's creepy. Oh. How do I know which way to go? It's gotta be a hint. Let's check the hints. Because, you know what? Screw it. You'll hint 1. In the sacred order. Large runestone. Okay, so it does tell me, so I'm missing a runestone. Have I just completely ignored it this entire time? There was a little stone here. There. Oh, right there. I didn't go far enough. I got all excited about the thing. So I gotta go fastest route. Probably up. I missed it. There you are. Do. Easy peasy. I hate that I have to use hints, but I don't want to sit around for the next 5 minutes while I be a jackass. And the big old stone over this way. Yeah. I already forgot it. Okay, thank God. Two left, 2 right. 2 left. 2 right. Left, right, left, right. Right, left. Right. Left, right, left, right, 2 right, left, right. I wrote it down. We should be alright. I probably already messed it up again. Shh. If I forget it, we'll just pretend that I didn't, and it'll be fine. Okay, I go 2. Then 2. 2. 2. Two. 2. This way? I'm not sure if it means go back to start. No. I go 1, 2. I think it means go twice. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Shit. This is me thinking really hard and remembering it. Ah, yes. So I was misreading the double arrows. I do have it memorized. If we go... whee! All the way around. Go ahead. All the way around. Go ahead. All the way back around. Go ahead. All the way back around. Go ahead. Round again. Go ahead. All the way around this way. Go ahead. Back around this way. Hey, there we go. I thought like the double arrow meant two this way and then turn and like a combo lock. That wasn't it. Hi. Nice to meet you. How are you? I think I killed it. Hello? It's too late now. For my sanity, it most certainly is. Wow. She's going to get married. There's nothing I can do about it. I think. Church. This is a trip. Just spin it really fast. Oh. Whoa. It can't be changed. What? That's my house. The decision has already been made. Whoa. I'm going plaid. You must stop coming here. Where is here? Is here now? Ah. Making time like happen? I don't love you anymore. Well, that was an intense way to get through to a letdown. That was certainly a way to dump a person. Shit. Okay. Lovely. Warm weather, it suits me. I can go forward, I can't go back. I will just walk this perpetual summer. Oh, that was certainly trippy. Nice little pasture is a welcome break. Oh, hello. It's you again. Oh. Why? What? Did I kill her? Did she kill herself? What? Okay. Okay. That was a trip. That was a phenomenal trip. This music is just so happy. Or maybe it's a little bit sad, this music. Wow. Simogo. Good job. I want to know now if they made anything else, because that was fantastic. Never mind. Written it all down. Everything that happened. It can be changed. Deliver the message. The journal. The secret is hidden. Is there a happy ending to this? North of the mill. South of the brook. Remember. North of the mill. A secret. North of the mill, south of the brook. I got it. Do I need to click? Walk again? North of the mill, south of the brook. And it starts over. They lock themselves. We went through this. Whoa. Okay, let's we got some time. Let's see. I'm gonna need another drink. North of the mill, south of the brook. Well, shit. That was cool. Let us see. North of the mill, south of the brook. I am super curious. North of the mill, south of the brook. This is the brook, right? 89. 1894. What does that mean, 1894? What does that mean, 1894? Is that journal? Oh, it's the journal, that thing that I thought that I had to log was like a user account. The old 68. That's everything here, right? Journal. North of the mill, south of the brook. Okay. The Ulm 68 1894. What? Oh shit. I go back to the journal. August 4th. Hello, new system. Testing photo upload. It works. Probably should write here more often. Read about every book on Swedish folklore there is. Surprised how little has been written about year walking. Need more sources of information. Talk to ES. He suggested some field work. Might be good, but I feel like I might be 30 years too late. Been talking to elderly folks, eating cookies and drinking coffee. Their knowledge about year walking has been limited, to say the least. Barely any of them knew what it was. If they did, they had heard stories as children but forgotten the details. Thinking ES set me on a wild goose chase. Interviews at a retirement home. May I never grow old. The last interview was intriguing, if very brief. Talked to one Astrid Jansen. She was over 100 years old, clear at times, did not know a lot about folklore, but she did claim that her grandfather's brother had once year walked. Sadly, she did not know his name. He had died many years before she was born. Might have to look into it. Her maiden name was Svensson, which leaves me with a lot of possibilities. She was born in Vedtorp, and I can only hope that her grandfather was as well. More interviews, nothing worth mentioning. Professor Asp called today. He hinted that the faculty wanted to take part in my research. September 2nd. Followed up my visit to the retirement home. I'm gonna cut this for a little bonus video. So if you're jumping in now, thanks for joining. Followed up my visit to the retirement home. In the early 20th century, there were 6 households in Vedtorp with the surname Svensson, according to the church book. Astrid was born in 1913. Her grandfather was named Carl Frederick. He had 2 brothers. One died in 1942. The other brother, Daniel Svensson, died in 1895. Since Astrid said that her great-uncle died before she was born, Daniel is the one that supposedly year walked. A miller apprentice. Going to the library to check out old newspapers tomorrow. Looked for reference of Daniel Svensson in old newspapers. I'm grasping at straws. Another day at the library. Nothing of interest. Bored. I'm about to give up. Excited. The newspapers finally mentioned Daniel Svensson. He was apparently arrested for the murder of a young woman in Vedtorp. Oh, I did kill her. Information is scarce. Her name was Stina Nilsson, and she was a miller's daughter. Her body was found on a field outside of the village. She had been stabbed multiple times. The library should be open longer. Hope I can find any reference to a supposed year walk. The motive behind the murder seems to have been jealousy. Not many details. Apparently, Stina was going to marry a Lucas Tapper. She was on her way home from Lucas's parents when she was intercepted by Daniel. She was found the following morning, just 17 years old. I feel a tad guilty about my excitement yesterday. After all, there is a great tragedy behind all of this. The press seemed to have lost interest in the case after a while. Found nothing today. Maybe ES can tell me something. Had a long talk on the phone with ES. The murder case was unknown to him. He had, however, spent a long time in Vendorp during the 60s when he studied folklore in the area. There had been a peculiar runestone that seemed to predate the Viking age. ES claims that there is a definite connection between the symbols on the stone and a year walking. He could not tell how. Want to check it out. Went to the library again, in case I missed something about Daniel. Indeed I had. Found another article. Feeling upset and a little bit sad, borrowed the article just in case. Perhaps there is more to learn about Daniel. Booked a hotel room in Vendorp. Arrived in Vendorp. It is a small place. One street cuts through the village. It's a rather depressing place. To be fair, the weather would not do any place justice. Just got back from the archive. An interesting place. Sadly, it's only open for 4 hours a day. It's understandable since I was the only visitor. Possibly found the files I need. Tomorrow, reading lots of it. I knew it. The archive has exceeded my wildest dreams. On New Year's Eve, 1893, Daniel Svetskin did indeed year walk. The court records refer to his year walk at several occasions. I have just started to scratch the surface. There must be beliefs hidden amongst the papers that have yet to be forgotten, that have been forgotten for ages. Amazing. This is by far the latest recorded year walk. I hope I'm excused for borrowing the file from the archive. They gave me little choice since they are closed during the weekend. September 29th. Could not sleep last night, too excited by the files. Much of the records are of legal nature, but there are relevant passages. Daniel claimed he knew that he would murder Stina after seeing it in a vision on his year walk. Sadly, the scribe has not bothered to take it all down and occasionally just refers to it as ramblings of a madman. Poor boy. There are certain elephants that are new to me. Elephants? Yes. Elephants are new to me. Elements that are new to me. Must write them down in a detail later on. Need fresh air. Daniel's cabin, Solsorten, is briefly mentioned in the protocol. We'll ask about it. Hope it still exists. September 30th. Drove around for hours in the forest today. These are woods to get lost in. Asked for the directions from every local. Most people never heard of the cabin. Was about to give up when I met an old man. His aunt had lived there until the 60s. From then it had 3 different owners that used it as a summer house until the mid-80s. The last family that owned the cabin only stayed there one summer. Their 5-year-old son drowned in a brook nearby, and after that they never returned. Nobody has lived there since. The old man's nephew owned the land. I asked the old man if I could pay it a visit. He did not think there could be anyone. He did not think there could be anyone that would mind. The cabin is situated deep in the forest. No sign, no road, just a narrow path. This was the place where he started his year walk over 100 years ago. Felt overwhelmed by the thought, could not enter. It's a lonely place. The only other building I could find in the area was an underground storehouse. Guess it might have belonged to the cabin. It was too dark to see anything, but I can't imagine that there would be anything of significance in there. On my way back to the car, I found this strange box. What an odd thing to leave in the middle of the forest. Seems to be in more or less mint condition. Could not resist taking it. Tonight I need whiskey. Lots of it. October 1st. Went to Vendorp Church today. It is a small white stone church built in the 12th century. The place where the church stands has been used for worship even earlier than that, according to the priest I met. He showed me around the premises. Premises. Put on a bouquet of flowers on Stina's grave. Seemed appropriate. The almost unlikely sober epitaph read, in memory of our loving daughter, Stina Nilsson, 1877 to 1894. Her cries for mercy could not sway his hand. Depressing. Searched for Daniel's grave, but there was no stone, and according to the priest, there probably was never one. The gravestone ES told me about are gone. The priest is not sure where they are or when they disappeared. Weather has been unreasonably bad. Spent the day at the country archive. Had trouble concentrating. Tried to locate a photograph of Daniel Svensson, but no luck. The clerk explained that a lot of stuff was lost when the files were moved from the original archive back in 1976. Apparently, there was another murder case in Vendorp in the early 1890s. Elisa Rasmussen drowned 4 infants in a creek. She was an angel maker who received foster children from poor, unmarried mothers. Lisa promised to find the babies good homes in exchange for a hefty sum of money. This was all a charade. As soon as the mothers had paid what little they owned, she drowned the children in a nearby creek. All files from that trial have been lost. Outrageous. I think I'm done with the archive. Been thinking a lot about that church. Strange day. The ruined stone ES talked about is not marked on any map. Talked to the man at the service station. He drew me a rather primitive map. Searched for the stone for a long time. Almost gave up. Found it at last. Felt compelled to touch it. Had the strangest sensation of looking beyond. Beyond what? The feeling lasted for quite some time. Heading home tomorrow. Wish I had more time. The stone is old. Might predate Christianity, but I fail to see how it's connected to year walking. Could not resist stopping by the church on my way home. Walked around it for a bit. It's a pretty church, not remarkable, but there's something about it. Feel that the church and the stone are connected somehow. October 4th. Found the box when I unpacked. I'd almost forgotten about it. It seems to have some lock-like construction, but I've yet to understand exactly what it is or how to open it. It reminds me of one of those puzzle boxes. The wheel with the symbols suggests it's opened by entering a password. It must be old. Maybe ES knows something about it. Decided not to tell ES about the box. He might not appreciate what I took it with me. He's always nagging me about ethics. Busy week, classes and meetings. The faculty is really getting in the way of my research. Feeling a bit strange. I've had weird dreams ever since I came back from Ventorp. Odd dreams. Let's party, Theo. Call Ebby. Prepare lecture. Swedish. Dreamt that I was in a vast wasteland. I was searching for keys to my locker together with Jenny from high school. We laughed and dug in the sand. Suddenly the sky lit up and Jenny pointed to a simple constellation of stars. She whispered in my ear never to forget it. I asked her what it meant, but she was dead and her bones were withered and old. Woke up and having the feeling of being rather queasy ever since. October 10th. Read an account of a year walk by a man named Rummedel in an old book I came over in a used bookshop. Rummedel's story is little more than a tall tale told by a drunken oaf. Most of them seem to be. Daniel sticks out. It haunts me. Held a lecture on year walking. Several faculty members attended it. They ridiculed me in front of the students. Another strange dream. Was doing my homework. Was stressed because of the oil lamp was running out of oil. And when it did, the pale horse outside the window would come inside. The lamp burned out and everything went black. Woke up soaked and swept. Dream 12. Okay, Hassan. October 16th. Must remember to buy groceries. Filled with the box. I have no clue how to open it. Frustrating. What a jealous, small-minded, greedy creatures the faculty members are, and they will undoubtedly create small-minded, jealous, and greedy students. Don't feel the need to share any of my research with the faculty anymore. They don't deserve to read something that my hand has written. They would not understand anyway. The thought of what's inside the box is like an itch that can't be scratched. I've searched for references to anything about it, but I found nothing that resembles it at all. Having more strange dreams. Something happened in those woods. Is a year walking a mere vision quest? Are the visions brought on by lack of light and food? Yes, believe so. Not sure. October 25th. Dreamt with the runestone. Was in the forest outside Ventorp. Miss Bowman was walking up to me. I was very afraid. She said that I had been a bad boy and broken the rules. Before I could defend myself and tell her that I did not mean to be naughty, she withered into dust. Found myself in front of the runestone. The Grimm's eyes glowed at me. Woke up. October 26th. Find myself thinking of the stone. What does it mean, and how is it connected to a year walking? What did people do in those woods? Do not feel like sleeping tonight. Drinking coffee and watching TV. If I stay awake, those dreams will stay away. 28th. Could not understand much of my students' presentations today. Must be sleep. Someone has watched me all the time. October 29th. Got an email reminder to deliver text for the game. Wrote 7 or 8 pages. Hopefully it's enough. Waiting. Don't know for what. Have a feeling that something is on its way. Received an odd email today. Got over 1,000 of these during last night. The emails seem to have stopped when my inbox was full. Don't know what it could mean. Maybe it's a prank by my students. Or maybe it's very obviously the clues to the box. Duh, half circle. Maybe it's a prank by my students, but they seem too unimaginative to come up with something like this. Don't think it will end here. Is this some kind of threat? November 4th. Called the priest, told him of my plight. He said that Ventorp sometimes has strange effects on people, but it rarely lasted. Do not think he understands. I was going to ask him about the box, but decided to hang up when he suggested I should see someone. Woke up last night. Heard baby screams from beneath the floorboards. Panicked. Managed to pry up some of the floorboards. The screaming stopped. The Watchers, the Night Raven, the Huldra, the Brook Horse, and the Chruch Grim. There might be others. Cannot be sure. Can they disguise themselves? Maybe they can read my mind? The Watchers. Because they watch. That's what they do. But it is all they do? Yearwalk equals system error. Yearwalking works, but it was never meant to. It's against the rules. The universe blinked its eye and someone crossed all the barriers that are known as to time and space. The Watchers are watching, but who are watching the Watchers? Who are watching the Watchmen? How can you bend time and space? Beyond a rift between time and space. Possibly Lucia, time, Min, I don't know. Got in a heated argument with ES. He is surprisingly scornful of my theories. Must remember that he's an old man, and he might not be as open to new ideas any longer. He claims that it is impossible to gaze into the future. The future is not set. Nothing happens until it happens. Of course, it's impossible to look into the future according to logic, but I'm not sure they are playing according to our rules. The Watchers are more than they appear, and less. They are real, and yet they are unreal. They do not exist in the manner that this table and this chair exist. How do I know these things? Are they my thoughts? Am I writing this? I certainly did not draw this, and yet it's right there in my notebook. Watchers or antibodies? Daniel broke the rules and he was punished. Held another lecture. The last one for a long while, it seems. It's been decided that I need a break, but it matters not. Have more important things to do. The 24th. I've been an idiot. Someone is playing with me. These shapes. It's the same as on the box. Did someone see me take it? Tried the symbols I have received, but the box remains shut. There must be more coming. Woke up last night. The telephone rang. Answered. Could not hear anyone. Hung up. It rang again. Answered. Could hear someone speak on the other side. Could not make out what was being said. The voice was too far away. Hung up. It kept ringing. Cut the cord. November 26th. Bought whiskey. Bought food. People stare. Don't want to go out there again. Too many know who I am. If you break the rules, there will be consequences. Wish I had not cut the cord to my phone. Need to hear a human voice. Don't dare go out. At first, I didn't even notice. One of the paintings in my living room has been replaced. It must have happened during the 30 minutes I slept. Cannot let my guard down. Someone was here, or something. Will the antibodies come for me? Am I a virus in the eye of the universe? Boarded up the balcony and all the windows. Nothing can come in now, I hope. Shouldn't be possible, but someone was here again. I am definitely being threatened. There was a knife on my kitchen table. Old, but sharp. I realized that the knife is his. We are connected. The church is central to this, and yet it is not. Perhaps the church itself is not important, but rather the energy of the place. Perhaps the gate is always there, but it's not a gate. Gates are meant to be open or closed. This is a rift in the fabric of the very existence of everything. But why allow it? Why does the universe or God or someone not shut the gate? If we're not meant to do it, why let us? December 4th. I can hear the heart of the universe beating. December 5th. What is happening? Feeling like a worm under a big foot. I feel the shadow hanging over me, waiting to get crushed. She sings and I shall follow. She is trying to fool me. That I know, but I must get closer to her, because I can get closer to the key that leads to the heart of it all. I didn't steal the box because it begged me to take it with me. December 8th. Daniel survived all the Watchers sent by the universe. He was lured by the temptress, brought the innocents to the pale horse, unearthed the parasite, and finally faced the master of them all. But yet he was destroyed. Could have it gone any other way? Was he doomed from the start? Am I doomed? Is the future set, or can it be altered? Man-made angels, fairy maiden, temptress, henchman, parasite, master gatekeeper, running errands, a test of might, death. Must help him. It's the right thing to do. There is a bond between us. Might have figured it out. 5 watchers, 5 symbols, which means there is one more coming. So tired. Can't seem to hold my thoughts for any period of time. Should probably eat more often, but I must resist. It is important that I come prepared. The heart beats stronger, but I will break it and see beyond everything. In the end, it was the nature of man that got Daniel. Must free myself of all desires. That's how they get you. Can love really be a weakness, or is it a strength? And the poor girl, it just seems unfair. Is there anything I can do? If the future can be altered, why not the past? Am I playing the part of the fool in the cosmic play? And if so, to what purpose? Disconnected the microwave oven, just in case. December 15th. Feeling absolute terror at the possibility that there is no purpose, no rhyme, no reason to it at all. Why me? December 16th. The only way I can help him is if I break the rules. It will come at a price, but what do I care if I can rise above it all? 2 rules, universal. Time, space. If broken, above it all, and doom, how? Saw her lifeless body. She's beautiful, even in death. I've been crying ever since. It all seems so needless, so cruel. Ready for anything. Don't care anymore. December 18th. It is finally here. The last one. Woke up with this in my palm. Tried to wash it out. It's a tattoo. Tested them in all different combinations, but I could not figure out how to do it. I must sleep. I will open that box tomorrow. Of course. So simple. Rotate the wheel and release when the symbol aligns with the Grim, in the order they were delivered to me. But why was it empty? I thought it was Daniel all along. I thought he was here, but it cannot have been he who sent me the password. It doesn't make sense. If the box was empty, it means it must be filled? I still do not understand who sent the symbols. If it was not the boy, then it must have been the Watchers. But why? Are they toying with us? Helping us in some perverse, twisted way? From the get-go, he was doomed. They got him at the very thought of year walking, but I think the girl can be saved. I put everything he needs in the box and locked it. I will leave it where I found it, where all of this started. If my mind is set on this, does it mean that I am doomed too? So 25th. The rift is open. It wants me to go through. Pack my things. I wonder if I will come back. November 27th, 28th, 30th, 31st. Soul sortin'. It's cold here. Wish I could light a fire, but I must do it right. Surprised how calm I feel. Only hours remain. January 1st. It's midnight. Okay. So, I need to figure out... We've got the clues to open the box. So let's see where we go from there. I think it started in November 4th. Okay. It's half circle. Is there one before it? Okay, not that. So it starts with the half circle, and then there's a square in there somewhere. Square. And there's 5 of them. Triangle. Not the knife. There's one more coming. Final one is his hand. I missed one somewhere. Ooh. Alright, this has got me going. Anyway, thank you all for listening for the read. It seems that the end of the game was not the end of the game. Let's see, October 11th, your walk, system error. Square. There's one more. Triangle. Am I missing something? There's gotta be one more. Five watchers, five symbols. The knife might be a symbol in of itself, so I'm gonna say downward triangle for knife. Let's see if this is it. What is the symbols? It's not that. Oh, there it is. It's the constellation. It's the first one. So it's down triangle, half circle, square, up triangle, down half circle. I got it. I got it. All right. Let's see what happens. So I need up triangle. Then half down circle. There we go. Oh boy. I'm excited. What's gonna be in it? Vedtorp murder executed. Kristianstad, January 21st. Yesterday morning, Vedtorp killer Daniel Svensson was executed at Kristianstad prison. He was found guilty for the heinous murder of young Stina Nilsson last year. The death sentence has been criticized by the wholly renowned Dr. Helmer Lundback, who stated that Daniel is suffering from abnormal psyche. He seems to have problems differing the past from the present and has visions of terrible creatures, something not uncommon among schizophrenics. Daniel cannot be held accountable for his actions and should be given treatment at an institution for the criminally insane. The execution was performed by Gustav Dahlberg. This was his fourth execution. Last year, he was to perform the execution of the notorious Lisa Rasmussen, who was charged with the murder of 4 infants in Vedtorp, but who took her own life before the sentence could be carried out. Security has been improved greatly since. Daniel Svensson was composed during the whole process. Besides the slightly shaking hand so common among the criminal type, you could not tell Daniel from any other young man. He sobbed loudly when he laid his head down low, but quickly regained his composure. A quick prayer and a swift, powerful stroke, and it was over. According to the attending priest, Graneth, Daniel's last words were, "I should have killed myself, then none of this would have happened." You are long dead when I write this, and I have not yet been born. Yet we have a connection beyond life and death, space and time. The impossible made possible by your walking. But the Watchers always win. Even though you've not passed through the rift yet, they sense the urge and they want their sacrifice. I wish there could be another way, I am sorry, but for her there is still hope. You can save her. You know what you must do. Oh. Kill myself before anything else. Well, that was ending number 2. Happy, I guess? Damn. I love games that turn the whole end on its end and go, no, that's not all. Not all at all. I got more I got more tricks up my sleeve. Wow, that was so cool. Because by the time you get, oh, that's so clever with the box too, because by the time you're dealing with the church and, you know, everything, you kind of forgotten about the box, because you never technically have to go back to that spot in the map. once you start your journey. That's clever. Like, I forgot it a little bit too at the end there. But then, that's not all. It's like 3 in the morning. This game was so good I had to stay up and play all the way through. I planned to do this over a couple of days, but I just blitzed through. This was fantastic. I don't even know how much I got this game for. I think I got it for free, or I paid like something really cheap, like $3 during the Steam sale. Oh my god, that was so good. Fuck again? Oh, that was amazing. Oh, that top game. One of the best games I have played in years. And my god. I'll probably replay it, even though there's nothing new to find out in the game. I legitimately want to replay this at some point in the future, just to enjoy the feeling, the sensation of the game. Oh, it was awesome. It was creepy. It had history. It had intrigue. It had puzzles. Oh, I fucking love this game. Like, 9 out of 10. Would play again. We'll play again. When the memory fades of this game and I go, shit, I remember that being fantastic. I will play this again. Wow. Yeah, thank you for coming on that journey with me, guys. You know, some glorious people, so I'm just gonna go sit shell-shocked for a little bit and just marvel at that experience. Thank you all, glorious people. Have a great rest of the day. Toodles.